Sodor is one of the most beautiful places across the British Isles. From its bustling towns or to its magnificent farmland, with Sodor, there is no better place to be. Sodor also houses many railway lines and many types of engines as well. Whether it's Gordon thundering along with the Express, or Mavis with the seemingly endless amounts of quarry trucks. It's Sir Topham Hatt, the main controller of the railway. He makes sure that all of his engines are responsible, reliable, and extremely useful to make sure that all the residents on the island of Sodor are happy. Here are all the engines Sir Topham Hatt has in his reigns of engines. There's Duck, Percy, Thomas, Gordon, Henry, and James. The two Scottish twins, Donald and Douglas. The two mischievous twins, Bill and Ben. And over there is the silver streamlined engine, Spencer. Over here on to the left is Emily, and to the right is Toby. Here are the three diesels Sir Topham Hatt has in front of engines. On to the left, there's Mavis. In the middle, there's Diesel. And on the right is Salty. And with all these engines, Sir Topham Hatt is extremely proud with every single one of them. All the engines at Tinmouth Sheds one day were waiting for their jobs. They were waiting for Sir Topham Hatt to arrive. As they're all discussing what jobs they're going to get, Sir Topham Hatt pulled up to Tinmouth Sheds to speak to his engines. Sir Topham Hatt soon stepped out of his car and walked up to the edge of the turntable to speak to all of his engines. "Okay, everyone," said Sir Topham Hatt. "It's just a normal day as usual. Thomas and James, you two shall go shunt down at Frendham Yards. You two shall shunt the goods train for Henry, and Thomas, you shall shunt in the goods train for Douglas. Bill and Ben, you two just stay out of trouble, which I highly doubt you will. And Duck, you shall pull around the local passenger run. Now, for those of you who I didn't give jobs to, just wait until the afternoon." And so, just Topham Hatt walked to his car, and he drove away. Thomas and James soon pulled up into the yard. Thomas and James soon went off to shunting. James, you gotta be more aware when you're shunting. Those trucks could have fallen off the rails. "Oh, pile of good, Thomas. At least our jobs are easy for today." "James, something just doesn't feel right." "What do you mean?" "Well, what I mean is, how on earth are all of our trucks are supposed to shunt all in one straight line?" "Thomas, don't you dare jinx it. I'm just lucky our job was easy for today." "I know, but all I'm saying is, it's just too easy." "Whatever you say." that? I just don't know. Maybe James is right. It's probably just a lucky break. Donald and Henry both backed up onto their trains. Goodbye, Douglas. Wait up for me, Henry. The trucks were bad with Henry. They kept on biffing and bouncing him. Stop being silly. Stop being silly, said Henry. Bertie the bus was driving along to deliver workmen to Dry House Station. They had to go to fix a broken bridge support beam. Duck had a new support beam and was going to take him down to the bridge. But as Bertie went over the level crossing, Duck was trying to stop at the station and collide him straight with Bertie. Sorry, Bertie, said Duck. Toby was taking some cattle cars, and the cars would not stop jiggling. So Toby stopped. Stop that, said Toby, or else you're gonna hurt the cattle. And one of the cars jiggled so much, it burst its doors open. When some cattle moved across to the other line. Suddenly, Gordon showed up. Oh great, said Gordon. Not again. It was late that night, and all of the engines were talking about the crashes that they had endured with the trucks. All of the engines were there, except for Thomas and Percy, who were out doing their mail run, and Henry, who was out pulling the flying kipper. Some dumb flatbed pushed me into Bertie, knocking him off the level crossing. Luckily, no one died in that crash. One of the troublesome trucks pushed me underneath the coal hopper, covered me up with coal dust, said Toby. Yeah, well, I got it worst of all, said James. They were all out red paint, so now I couldn't get repainted today. James, Douglas said, if I had as much strength as you had veganism, then I could pull Gordon's Express to the moon and back 10 times, or... Yeah, I could see that, James, said Gordon. Shut it! Will everyone just shut it up? You're all just jealous that you don't have a shining red paint like me. You two are as black as the night sky. You two are so bright and yellow, you two could be the sun. You're as blue as the ocean, Gordon. Sometimes I can imagine fish all over you, and so I can still smell the smell of ditch water on you. Duck, you're as green as trees. Toby, you're brown and dirty as mud. And Emily, you're so green and brown that you could be hiding in a forest and no one would find you for decades. Me, I am unique. I'm one of the few red engines on top of this entire railway. And does anyone care? No, they do not. Because you all are just jealous of me being better and smarter looking than all of you combined. Silence, James! Boomed the Fat Controller. What's going on here? James keeps mocking all of us, sir, said Donald. He says that I look like I have fish all over me. He said I'm brown as dirty as mud. He said that if I got lost in the forest, no one would ever find me for decades. He said that what was black as the night sky. James, I do not stand for such insults. I have a piece of my mind to tell you. Suddenly, they all heard a cry. Help! It was Henry. He kept on being pushed on by the trucks. He couldn't stop and he fell straight into the turntable well. Sorry, sir, said Henry. I couldn't stop in time. These trucks pushed me on and on. I know what's going on here, said Sir Tom as he was climbing up into his car, and I don't like it one bit. As he climbed up into his car and drove away, James just backed up into his shed carefully. He shut his doors and went to sleep. Whoa, where am I? I'm at Knapford Station. But where is everyone? He saw an engine in the distance. Gordon, is that you? Why are you all black and white? James, you are seeing me the way you've always seen me. Blank. Unoriginal. Gray. You have also taken away my pride and my dignity. Now, I shall take away what is nearest and dearest to you. My coat! I have not. You have done this to yourself, James. Change your ways, will change you back. No, wait, stop, please. Salty was being inspected one day all over. He was getting his yearly checkups, that way there's no bug in his system. When suddenly a blue tank engine came out. Hello there, Salty. What are you doing? Thomas. I'm just getting inspected to make sure I'm as right as the bright blue say. Okay then. Hey Salty, where are my trucks? They're over there, Thomas. Thanks. As Thomas backed onto the trucks. Thomas, there's one more thing. You see, they're testing out new snowplows, and since the fall is now beginning, they're testing out the snowplows, so you're gonna have to wear it on your trail. What the? No way! There's no way that I am wearing some dirty, rusted piece of scrap metal on my buffer beam. Come on, Thomas. I think you look swell. I look silly, Salty. I'm sorry, but I just look silly. When Thomas got to the hill, the truck started to play their normal tricks. Hold back, they all said. Thomas's wheels kept slipping. He could not climb up the hill. You stupid trucks! You stupid trucks! Said Thomas. Laughed all the trucks. Okay, all you trucks, are you ready to let go? In 3, 2, 1. Ignition! Thomas raced on and on. Thomas had tried to brake with the heavy trucks, but with the truck pushing him, it was impossible. Oh, help me! exclaimed the frightened Thomas as he thundered down along the tracks. Thomas was coming up to an old bridge. Thomas soon hit a mighty bump, which made Thomas's snowplow fall, as the snowplow fell across the rails. "Oh great," said Thomas's driver. Thomas was soon back inside the sheds complaining. "You don't know how hard of a day I went through. I had to wear a snowplow, heavy trucks pushed me, I lost a snowplow, and now I'm in trouble." "Well, I'm sure it can't be all that bad, Thomas." Suddenly, all the engines at the sheds heard a scream. "Ah!" James soon burst through the doors. "What a horrible nightmare!" "Whoa, James, did you really make that scream?" "Gordon, I just had the worst nightmare ever. I dreamt that the whole world was in black and white, and that no one could see my bright red coat anymore. It was awful." Percy was soon thinking, "I wonder how the world would look in old-style picture." Cool. "Guys," said Toby, "I think I know what is happening here. The trucks, they're taking over."